Just bringing in different voices here as we are covering this breaking story on campus, at the heart of the campus. Apparently, this shooting happened at this engineering building in the middle of campus. The call came in just before 10 o'clock California time, and still students, faculty, staff, everyone in this final week of classes asked to shelter in place as they tried to find the shooter or shooters. Teddy Maddox is on the phone with me. He's a freshman at UCLA. Teddy, I know you're in the cafeteria. I understand how many other students are with you, right?
Hi, I would say that there's about 100 other students with me right now.
100 other students. And so, Teddy, describe the scene.
Everybody was sort of just, getting their breakfast, and we were in line, and we got the alert, and a woman said, this is not a drill. Everybody's get to the back of the dining hall because, we just have to stay away from the windows. So we're all crowded back here. We've been here for at least an hour and a half at this point. And people are crying. People are nervous. They're shaking. We're unsure because we're getting all this information from our friends, and everybody's telling us something different. And every few minutes we hear that there's another shooter at a different location. And sometimes it sounds like it's moving closer to us. So it's just a very stressful situation.
That is the tough part in situations like these. There are not enough facts to go around to understand what's happening. How are you feeling?
I have not stopped shaking for the last hour and a half. I'm praying for any students that are still out on campus right now. I'm praying for anybody that's in the engineering building. My roommate left. She walks past there, every morning, and I couldn't get a hold of her for half an hour, and it was one of the scariest half hours of my life. So it's just a very anxiety-producing situation.
Yeah,
a lot of nervousness.
Help us understand, for people who've never been on campus, I know it's huge, and when we're talking about this engineering building, I understand it's in the middle of campus. How big of a building is it, and what's around it?
The thing about the buildings where classes are held, sorry, we're just getting some more information right now. There's no other. We have to stay on lockdown. The thing about the buildings where classes are held is that they're all clustered together. So, there could have been at any time thousands of students around that location. So, it's absolutely the worst time of the day for anything to happen. Everybody's headed to class. Everybody's out. Nobody's expecting anything. So,
I imagine the weather is beautiful. I imagine people are outside starting their days. I know commencement is soon, so there's a lot of activity on campus.
Yes,
is that right?
There's a lot of activity on campus. There's a lot of setup. There's a lot of people to see their children graduate. It's honestly heartbreaking.
Teddy, I will let you go. We're thinking about you, hoping everyone is going to be okay. Thank you so much. Freshman at UCLA, essentially holed up on lockdown in the school's cafeteria there. Teddy, thank you so much. It is the bottom of the hour here. I'm Brooke Baldwin. You are watching live special breaking coverage here of a sad situation unfolding on the campus of UCLA there, really in the heart of Los Angeles. We have now confirmed from UCLA there are two individuals, two victims who are dead as a result of what police there are calling an active shooter situation. My colleague Kyung La is standing by in Los Angeles to essentially, Kyung, bring us up to speed. The call came in, I know, about 10 minutes till 10 this morning from the campus. Take me from there.
The call came in because we started getting a report that students were told to shelter in place, that there was a reported shooting on campus. We have just received a news release from UCLA, UCLA saying that it happened at approximately 10 a.m. this morning, and that the LAPD responded to multiple calls of shots fired on the campus. Where this happened was the engineering building. The warning that went out to the university was that if you were in or near the engineering building, shelter in place. The campus was put on lockdown. Students were told to avoid this area. Since then, we are getting confirmation that two victims were shot from the LAPD and UCLA. those victims are now dead. UCLA telling us in this news release that those 2 victims are both male. This is still an active shooter investigation. There has been a tremendous response from law enforcement. The LAPD, the university police, they are putting on tactical gear. They're walking through these narrow streets. They have their long guns drawn. This is a densely populated area. You can see how close these buildings are to each other. You can see the amount of concern, the response from law enforcement, because there are so many students that attend this campus. There are 43,000 students that are enrolled at UCLA. That doesn't even count the nearby medical center. I just heard from a friend of mine who's inside that medical center who cannot get out. That medical center has been put on lockdown as well. There are a number of employees that work on this campus. This is a densely populated area of the west side of Los Angeles. So a lot of concern from law enforcement as they try to figure out exactly what is happening. We have not, Brooke, we have not heard any reports of anyone being in custody. Brooke?
And again, just quickly, Kyung, we don't have any sort of suspect description. We don't know if it's 1 person, 2 people. Police just don't know.
Correct. There's a lot of information floating around. We have not been able to confirm anything that we feel strong enough to be able to report. We're still working on that. But what we have heard is that this is an active shooter situation. A lot of people are on this campus, and they are asking everyone to shelter in place.
We are talking to a lot of people on campus. Kyung, thank you. Do not go too far, please. I have Bernice on the phone. Bernice, I understand you are a student on campus at UCLA. You okay?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about what you're hearing, what you know.
There's just a lot of police activity outside.
And I understand you have a daughter?
Yes.
And you're worried about your family?
Yes, I just want to go home.
You want to go home. Bernice, I don't blame you. I'd be feeling the same way in your same shoes. Tell me how you learned about this.
We got a Bruin alert, email and text, and we were told to just go on lockdown and lock the doors.
And so you've done that?
Yes.
Are you alone, or do you at least have some people with you?
No, we have people with us. In the room next to us, my classmates are there, and then in the room with me, I have 2 classmates and an adult.
Have you seen, I know police are asking you all to stay away from windows, but do you know anything about, are police communicating with you all? I mean, I know this is a huge campus. I know that they're clearing different buildings or clearing different students. Have you had interaction with law enforcement today?
No, we haven't. We're waiting for them. We just know that the shooter is possibly wearing black pants and black jacket, and he's white and he's 6 feet tall.
We haven't gotten that. I know in times like these, there's a lot of misinformation floating around, and so I just don't want to pass along something we don't know for sure. And Bernice, have you been on campus since this morning, since this happened?
Yes.
Okay. Bernice, we're thinking about you. Thank you so much. Please stay safe. Let me pivot now to our justice correspondent, Evan Perez. Evan Perez, I know the FBI, since they're so close, they've been on scene helping out as LAPD have taken the lead here. Tell me more about the law enforcement activity.
Well, Brooke, at this point, we have both the FBI and the ATF at the scene there. They're trying to best figure out how to clear these buildings and figure out what exactly happened here. Obviously, we still only know of these 2 people who've been shot. We don't know where the shooter is, whether the shooter managed to get away, or whether possibly one of the people dead it was the shooter that people first were alerted to. All of that is still very much in flux, simply because law enforcement doesn't have any information right now as to where possibly the perpetrator or the shooter might have gone. We do know that, as Kyung Lao was mentioning, that this all began with an alert that people heard gunshots on that campus, and as you said, it's a sprawling, very large campus. The FBI is actually right near walking distance from that location, so they got there pretty quickly. It's really remarkable, though, that at this point we still don't know very much as to whether or not it's still an active shooter situation, whether or not these 2 people who were shot were all, including the shooter. Again, that's information that we're waiting to hear from law enforcement, Brooke.
Let me just, Evan, stay with me. Let me just read this. I just got handed this. I believe this is from LAPD. LAPD UCLA police began a search for suspects and victims. Actually, stand by. We got a news conference again.
Good morning. My name is Jim Herron. I'm the chief of police for the UCLA Police Department. As you already have learned, that we have had an on-campus shooting this morning. The unfortunate fact is that there are 2 victims who are deceased from that shooting. We have still on campus an active investigation. We have an active search to ensure there are no further victims, that no one else is in harm's way, and we're still searching to see if there is a suspect that may be in the area. Those are questions we don't have answered yet. But I can tell you what we did immediately upon having learned about this incident. We immediately put out a Bruin alert, and that's our campus alert notification system to advise all of those in our campus community of an incident that occurred that could be dangerous to them, and we requested them to stay out of the area. Right now, currently, the campus is on lockdown. We have literally hundreds of police officers and agents here on campus assisting in this active situation. UCPD is working in concert with the FBI, with Los Angeles Police Department, with ATF, and with LA City Fire Department, as well as Santa Monica College Police. We have a lot of resources here that we're dedicating to ensure the safety of this entire campus community. That will tell you that with the response that we have had, not only from our own officers who has responded within just brief moments of receiving that first call, it is something that we have trained to do. And so when our officers arrived on scene, they immediately began putting teams together that are considered rescue teams to help those who have been injured, and also search teams to look for suspects who may be in the area. That was implemented immediately, and we've not stopped yet. We will continue to go until we are assured that this campus is safe, and if there is an outstanding suspect, we will have that person or persons in custody.
Do you think that one of the victims is the shooter?
We don't know. It is certainly possible that one of the victims is a shooter, but we don't know that yet.
Are you tell us, Chief, about where
bodies were murder-suicide?
There is that possibility, but we haven't confirmed that yet.
Chief, can you tell us where in the building, in the engineering building, the shootings occurred and what the circumstances were?
The location exactly in the building I can't divulge right now. It's in the engineering building, as you know. It is inside where there are numerous people. In fact, quite honestly, we still have dozens of people in the building who have sheltered in place. Other than the building, the area outside is called the Court of Sciences. We have asked everybody from that location to please leave the area just to ensure their safety. One location so far.
And the
Yes.
victims are inside the building?
The victims were located inside the building.
How many shooters or gunmen are you looking for at this point?
Unknown.
Sex of the victims?
I'm sorry?
Male, female, the victims?
I don't have that information right now.
One more question. How did you first receive the call?
I'm sorry?
How did you first receive the call?
Through our 911 dispatch center in the police station. We received the call.
And that came from inside the building? Or?
I'm not sure where the origin of that call was, but we received it at the station. Thank you. We will update you with more information as we're able to develop it. We appreciate it. I'm sorry.
Do you know if the victims were students?
I don't know.
And no other
Thank you,
injuries,
Chief.
right?
Thank you very much.
And nobody else injured?
Can you just confirm
All right.
that they're saying that there are other injuries? Are there any other injuries? Any other injuries? None that you know of. Okay, thank you, Chief. Right now, sorry, trying to get the latest information.
All right, still so many questions here. You can hear them being shouted out to that UCLA police chief there. 2 bits of information confirming we knew that there were 2 dead on campus, 2 males, according to LAPD. And that was a new piece of information that he said that the 2 victims were found inside the building, inside that engineering building in the heart of the campus there at UCLA. Not quite sure if one of those who is deceased is the shooter or not.